Hey there guys, welcome back to the 5-9 channel. We are back with another episode review of My Hero Academia Season 5. We are on episode 4, Make It Happen Shinso. Today with me we have a new special guest. Waffles, say hello.
Hello, hello.
Yes, another enthusiastic hello. Chin, you disappointed me the first time. Hopefully we can get him to be more enthusiastic for future episodes. But these are the three people that will be with me in...
There.
What, sorry?
Putting shade out there at the beginning of this. Okay.
Hey, Chin was very unenthusiastic, man. He's been very unenthusiastic. But these are going to be the three people that will be doing the reviews with me for each episode of My Hero Academia season to come. And of course, before we begin into the new episode review and whatnot, I have to ask Waffles, 3 episodes in, what was your favorite moment before we get into this new 4th episode that we have just seen?
Okay. Favorite moment I'd say was when Deku and All Might are sitting by the table and just kind of talking about Deku's dreams in the last episode.
Yep.
Where it's like a new thing that All Might hadn't really seen before, so you can kind of see him react, the support as well. And so yeah, it was good. I enjoyed that.
No, for sure. I really like that as well. I think it's a great step in the right direction to show like Deku is quite unique in terms of even all the one-for-all users as well. Personally, of course, just to give mine, I still really like the whole Todoroki dynamic. Very intrigued in the whole Dabi and Endeavor situation. Which, by the way, quick question before we get back into it. I know this is the question I've asked even the last 2 guests as well. Do you think there is...
Son?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I had to ask.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
I think that's the theory that's going around everywhere. Everybody's been asking that question, you know, is he not? What is this connection? What is this obsession from Dabi with Endeavor potentially? So what do you think? Is it possible?
Oh, I think it's definitely possible. I don't know if it's probable, but I think that is a common fan theory, and I don't know. I haven't read the manga, so I'm not sure, but like, I think just because there's so much hype behind it, I'm gonna bet that it's more going to be like, oh, he just is obsessed with him because he's also a fire hero.
Potentially. Yeah, it's just interesting because Dabi's firepower is like exactly similar to how Endeavor's power is, if not even stronger at some point, if maybe potentially, especially with the blue flames, right? We've seen other pyro users, but they've been very minute, whereas Dabi's is on the level of like the Todoroki family, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see how that turns out down the line, if we even find it out in this season or in later seasons. But episode 4, Make It Happen Shinso. In the last episode we found out, well, not we found out, but we were watching the initial start of the Class A versus Class B fight, first round of course. And we jumped straight back into the action. Shinso, you know, Kaminari and whatnot, they're all dueling against Class B, who I'm going to tentatively call each of them by their power names because I cannot for the life of me remember their actual names.
That's fair.
So so Beast guy, or Beast from X-Men coming to MHA basically, and Air Prison Boy basically were kind of surprised, or Air Prison Boy was kind of surprised at Shinso using the vocal cords, of course, but he managed to negate it immediately with his Air Prison, effectively, you know, blocking off Shinso's abilities and then knocked some sense into Beast. That was a great animated fight scene between Class A and Class B, honestly. I really liked it. What did you think of the animation quality of that? Because that was, in my opinion, quite good, especially for an early fight in the season. I'm surprised Bones managed to pull that out. That was really well animated.
Yeah, I would say that that's probably one of the best animated fights we've had in a while on in My Hero Academia. Like, I almost feel like the Endeavor fight wasn't even that well animated, which was weird. Like the Endeavor versus the Nomu.
Yeah, I know.
So
I can understand that.
Good.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead. Sorry.
Reminded me of Attack on Titan with the 3D maneuver gear.
Ooh, that's very good. Yeah, it had that fluidity to it. There was definitely that fluidity. There was like, it wasn't like stiff. There was no stiff movement in that animation, and that was really good. So we obviously see the fight scenes. Kaminari and Koda, not Kaminari, Kirishima and Koda immediately got knocked out as well. That was a bit of a surprise to me. I thought obviously Kirishima was like the big guns, you know, the strongest one in the group arguably. You know, Kaminari obviously you can debate about obviously with his electricity, but that was a shocker, wasn't it? Seeing him just immediately just go out of the battle immediately, surprisingly. I was baffled by it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just caught him off guard because, like, ultimately he came back a little bit afterwards and then just got thrown way far away after like a few seconds. But like once he came back up, I thought, oh, okay, he's gonna save the day. It's just gonna go Red Riot, and he's going to free Shinso.
Yeah.
And then he didn't. So I was definitely surprised by that.
Yeah, also another thing, coming back to Shinso, we got a bit more explanation about his quirk, right? So we learned that he cannot necessarily brainwash multiple people, which would have been extremely broken, right? Especially if he was in like big crowds or something, you know, he would make a perfect villain, arguably, considering he could literally brainwash a lot of people if that was his capability, right?
Wasn't that the whole theme, right? He's been treated as a villain for so long because just the way of his powers.
Yeah, and not only that, he can make people do certain things, but he cannot necessarily get questions out of them, or he cannot be vague with his statements or his brainwashing tactics, is what we gathered, right? Is that am I understanding that correct, or what do you think about that part, Waffles? Because we obviously saw him say something about, oh, you can write Atsui's name, but I cannot say like, oh, you write the frog lady's name, kind of. He cannot. It would be too vague for the person to understand, right? What do you think about that, Waffles?
Yeah. What he was saying is that if it requires thought process, not just action do, is like it's going to be something he can't make them do. So he can say hit her or fight her. He could not say what is this. He can't ask for information. So like, and he can't like make them do something that they couldn't just do while being like groggy or something. Yeah,
it's a very interesting quirk. It seems very limited, but it's also a curious thing. Do you think it has the potential to maybe... I don't know if they'll ever mutate it to the point where he develops this capability of doing so, but do you think it's possible down the line, potentially?
For what, exactly?
For him to be able to develop this ability to ask those questions, or the thought process capability maybe down the line, or maybe even use it on multiple people.
I would say multiple people. I would say I don't think he'll be able to mutate it to the point where he can start asking maybe he might a little bit, not too much where it's like very complicated things. I don't think he'd be good at interrogation, but I think like eventually he can work on his focus so that maybe he can get more than one person.
Yeah. Of course, with that being said, obviously we said Koda and Kirishima got caught, but on Class A side, they managed to nab the air prison guy. So basically it was 3 versus 3 at the end, effectively. It was Shinso, Atsui, and Kaminari versus Vine Lady, Scales Boy, and Beast, right? I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it is quite interesting. But another thing we kind of learned as well was that Class B's quirks had also developed to a point where they were stronger. They were a lot stronger. Like, for example, Air Prison, when they were trying to break Shinso out of it, as well as when Kirishima was trying to break Koda out of the Air Prison, it required a lot more strength and power. And this comes back to our point from the previous episode, where we were like, experience versus, you know, nurtured growth. And clearly nurtured growth is still working. Like, they are able to develop these quirks to a point where they're much stronger than they were in the sports festival, right? Which is very, very cool. What do you think about that whole dynamic of experience versus nurtured growth? Because that's been a complaint of mine regarding Class A and just My Hero Academia in general, is like, you would never see a first year class go into like life-threatening situations, and yet that's all they've been doing in their last 4 or 5 seasons, right? What do you feel about that whole dynamic?
Well, I think it's an interesting one, and I think that's the whole crux of these episodes, where they're having to fight each other to demonstrate that, because I think both of them are learning different things, not just because of the different situations, but like it nurtures different skills. So while we can say that they haven't really been working on their quirks as much and being able to make it as strong as they are, they've been working on their like quick thinking in battle, because they had to. It's in the frying pan. So while I think that like Class B's quirks have gotten stronger proportionally to Class A's, I think Class A's been able to really work on their quick thinking, and I saw that like in Class B, really they can strategize, but it seems like they can be caught off guard a little more easily.
Yeah, that's something that we've also learned with even Shinso, right? The whole experience thing, you know, like Class A's experience is just miles above like anybody else's. Like even Class B were getting faltering at some points, especially with the whole mucus thing, because even I forgot that. What did you remember the whole mucus thing from Atsui or no? Like I completely forgot that was a thing.
Asui has so many powers, I forget which ones.
I see, yeah, I know, right? It's just like crazy because what effectively was the situation was Atsui managed to kind of camouflage the other two members of Class A, Shinso and Kaminari, basically with her mucus, which disguised the scent of those two people to make it seem like they were Atsui's as well. And that way Beast Boy would basically not be able to track them down really well, right? Which I must admit, that's quick thinking as well. Like that's plans that just came up on the spot, and they can kind of adapt to that point and move on from there. Same thing with the fact that Kaminari got caught on purpose as well. What did you think of that plan entirely, Waffles? And give me a rundown.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought it was great, and it also showed how much he's grown as well, because I'll be honest, he's been one of the more stupid characters.
Yeah.
Like,
True.
if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah.
But like, not in like a bad way. I still enjoy him, but as far as like him being able to use his brain, it's not always been there. So I think it was nice to see, oh, in the moment, oh, there's vines. Wait, what if I get caught on purpose? And he goes up to the thing, he's like, oh, step, bye guys. Good luck. And it's like, okay, then they got to think on their feet, hide Shinso away so that they could use Shinso's power. And it just thought it was perfect because it was like, I know he was trying to hit Beast, and it sucks that he wasn't able to actually get him with that. But like, it was the perfect distraction because they were so scared of using Kaminari, or scared of facing Kaminari because of his big lightning.
Yep.
And like, also using experience from the sports festival, knowing the Vine Lady was gonna just shield, was like, it was perfect.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good.
Again, this brings us back to the whole experience thing. It just works out so well, right? Because they know what to do immediately. In a tough situation, they can immediately adapt, and that's what you said, right? It's so much more beneficial than actually just developing your quirks and being in an enclosed environment. Obviously, there are some positives to a enclosed environment, especially if they have the time and capability to set up a plan, right? Now, of course, we come to the end and we start seeing Shinso, say, the fact that experience is, this is the power of experience, and, this is what I need to do, obviously, because he's come from the normal general course to the hero course, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see how Shinso develops. Now, also, another thing we see on the sidelines while obviously this whole fight is going on and whatnot, Deku is just writing down notes on the side. And of course, we do know that in the final fight, or the final round, it's going to be Deku versus Shinso. Do you think that Deku's gonna... we know that it's gonna come in handy, but how do you feel Deku's gonna be able to overcome Shinso? Especially after we've known in the last time they faced, Deku was only able to break out because of the vestiges, right? Do you think that he'll be able to break out any other way, especially now that he's able to see how powerful Shinso has become? And he mentioned it as well, that he's been training on the sidelines, right? And also another thing is, of course, we see... Shinso potentially has been learning a lot of things under Eraserhead as well, right? Aizawa, with the whole binding clots thing and whatnot, right? So what do you think about that? Do you think Deku's gonna have some troubles, or more troubles than he originally had as well?
Not in the way I think you're implying. I don't think he's going to get hypnotized.
Okay.
I think that Deku's one of his main traits is that he's very smart and he's learning. He like learns a lot about quirk, and he's just interested. Like, even if he wasn't phasing him, he was still gonna be writing those notes. Let's be honest.
Exactly. But, true. Very true.
Yeah, he loves this. It's his whole thing. So like, I don't think he's going to get caught off guard enough where he will get hypnotized, or at the very least, maybe one of his teammates might wake him out of it. But like, I think it's more gonna be leading up to, okay, the acrobatic. Can I take him down? There's gonna be some tension where like they're fighting and he can't say anything. And I think there's gonna be the inner monologue, and it's gonna build up, and that's gonna be how this resolves. I don't see him getting really hypnotized or that playing too much of a factor, other than to just add tension.
Gotcha. Obviously, we'll just say who won. Class A won by a decent, I'll be very honest, that was a bit of a surprise as to how easy it was towards the end, but obviously it required a lot of quick thinking, and again, it came down to experience versus no experience, right? And that's experience won by quite a distance, right? The quick thinking, quick planning and whatnot. Asui basically chucking Dragon Scale Boy into Beast and knocking them out. And then, of course, Shiozaki getting brainwashed by Shinso while he was hiding in a covered space to a point where, nobody could notice where he was, right? Did you think this was gonna be the outcome in the last episode where we ended off? Because I personally thought it might have been like a 4-3 win or something. Like maybe one member would still be uncaught, but the rest would be caught, basically, right? I thought it was gonna be like a 5-4 or something. I think it would 5-4 would be better, or 4-4. It would be 4-4 technically. But yeah, what did you think? Did you think that Class A was gonna win, or was it gonna be Class B's side?
I did think Class A was gonna win, but I thought Shinso would have been captured, and I thought Shinso
Gotcha.
would have taken a big out because, like, I thought it would be okay. Shinso lost here. He's got a lot riding on it, so he really has to put his effort into the next one.
Yeah.
So I thought that Shinso would get taken out, but yeah, I like the ending anyways. Like I liked seeing them all work together that that, and it was really fun seeing the strategy play out too, where it's like, all right, Kaminari's captured on purpose. There we go.
Yeah, 100% agree with you on that one for sure. Well, before we go into the preview for the next episode, any favorite moment from this episode? Let's see what you think. What was your favorite moment?
Definitely Kaminari explaining the plan when he's about to step on the thing. I thought that was great.
Yeah,
it was nice.
I think, I was very impressed by the animation scene. I'm a sucker for good fluid animation, and I was really impressed by that whole initial fight scene. Like, that was really well done by Bones. I mean, kudos to them for doing a great job in episode 4 alone, straight away, right? Very, very impressive on that, for sure. Let us know in the comment section, by the way, what did you guys like the most from this episode? And just generally your thoughts of the episode as well. But preview time. Class A versus Class B doesn't end here. We're on to the second round, of course. We see Kendo and 3 others. I don't remember who was on Kendo's team. I'm not gonna lie.
The Shadow guy.
Shadow guy, yeah. There was that Shadow guy who could go through the walls and stuff. And then we have, on the other side, we have Momo, Tokoyami, and who else? Who were the other 2 members that were with him? Laser Boy was there as well, I think.
Laser Boy and the Invisible Girl.
Invisible Girl, yeah.
I don't remember her name.
I don't remember the name. I think it starts with an H, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. But yeah, any ideas on who's gonna win this one? Let's start off with that first before we get into anything. Let's just go straight in. Who do you think is gonna win?
I think Class B. I think it's gonna be they'll make it even. I think it'll be tied or at least like close.
Yep.
I don't think Class A will take everything.
Yeah. Her name is Hagakure. I knew it started with H, by the way.
You.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, but yeah, there we go.
I think.
Yeah, Hagakure. Yeah, but I also do think Class B is gonna win, because another thing we did notice in the preview that they mentioned, well, 2 things we'll have to talk about. First and foremost is that Class B started off with a plan this time. This fight, it seemed like Class B had some plan, but it wasn't very well. Like, it wasn't a complete plan. It was just a general plan. This time, Class B in the preview said that they had a plan revolving Kendo. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to be the outcome. Another funny fact that I noticed, by the way, was that Class B's representative, as well as Class A's, one of Class A's representatives, I should say, is fighting against each other. Momo is the vice representative, and Class B's representative is Kendo. So, fun fact there. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see if the pre-made plan on Class B's side will be able to overcome Class A. I have to agree with you on that one, Waffles, by the way. Class B is going to win, I think, personally.
It's also like Kendo's there, and I feel like Kendo's generally one of the best ones in Class B as far as like actually doing stuff goes.
Low-key, I'm not going to lie, Class B should have picked up Kendo and kicked out one of the other ones. Laser Boy can go. But, well, sorry, go ahead.
Jeez, no love for the he even got character development. He gave Deku cheese.
True. He did give Deku cheese. But the next point that I'm really interested in seeing is Tokoyami's new power. We did see Hawks for a split second in the preview as well. We assume he was under Hawks for the training arc that they did with the what was it called again? The Pro Hero Provisional Training Arc or whatever it was. Yeah. Obviously, when the overhaul stuff was happening.
Yeah. Trying to take that down.
Yeah. So what do you think is going to be Tokoyami's? Do you have any idea or any guesses to Tokoyami's new power, maybe?
I can guess, but I don't have any good guesses. I have really buffed armored Tokoyami. I know he could do the armor thing. Let's just make it super buff.
I can't deny that is also very, very possible. I think there might be something along with that. Maybe he can start. Do you think he might have the ability to make make himself levitate or make other things fly or something, maybe with his powers potentially, with the shadows he has as well.
It makes sense, I think, too.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting to see what he does. Obviously, in the comment section, again, let us know what do you think Tokiyami's new power might be. But yeah, any final thoughts before we wrap up, Waffles?
Ultimately, I mean, My Hero Academia is always a good show. Like, here, I mean, it's still kind of more of a training arc type thing, and so you're not gonna see anything super dramatic happen. But like, I'm still down for it. It's always good. So I'm always having a good time. So
I completely agree with you on that one. And like I said in the last couple of reviews, and I'll say it again in this one, I really do love this whole dynamic of nurtured growth versus you know, the real life experience, because I've complained about it numerous times. So I'm very interested to see. I personally have had issues with them just going into real life experience after real life experience when, you know, they're not supposed to as first year students. You'd see the big three maybe go into a real life experience potentially, but not first year students, right? So it's kind of odd that it keeps happening to them, you know?
To be fair, it's like, it's not on purpose.
Well, yeah, no, it's not on purpose, but it's just really weird every single time it's them, you know? And I can understand Class B's frustration with them, to be honest, as well. But yeah, I think that's all from us today. Like I said, comment down below, what do you guys think of this episode? Did you like it? What were your best moments? Did you have any issues with it? Let us know in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more anime related content on 5-9. We will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, everybody.
Bye-bye.
I will.
Yeah. Gotta take it up like this, yeah.